So this was my favorite part of being in Morocco. We were in the desert in Merzouga for Passover. And just to let you know, all of the traveling we did, at the top of the handout there's a map of the trip that we went on. Where did we go all over in Morocco? There's another handout that also has a map. That's the trip we're going on next year. So the trip, the one I'm talking about, has the Moroccan words on it, the Moroccan Arabic. So we traveled almost everywhere we went by public bus. So from Todra Gorge, we had to take a collective taxi to the bus station. But on the way to Tenerife, that's where we had the 99-degree bus. It was definitely hot like the Sahara. And we did get picked up by someone we arranged to be picked up. And we were on a tour. It was us and 4 people from Madrid. And we went by camel. We left at 5 o'clock from our hotel. You would be surprised to know at the end of the road in the desert, there is free Wi-Fi. We went 2 hours by camel into the desert, and we slept one night there. And I thought a lot about Passover and the 4 questions. And I was thinking about, why do we recline? Why do we dip our food? All of the things, these questions that we ask. And I was thinking, well, in the desert, there's no chairs, so you recline on pillows. And why do you dip your food? Because you eat collectively, and you use the bread to dip. And I think that some of the customs that we have are about what I talked about in the beginning, remembering that it's like we were slaves in Egypt, and we left, and what happened to us. And I think it's really important for me to understand Jewish customs and bring them home to myself. One of the things that my mom has added at our house is the orange on the Seder plate. And I'm going to pass something around about the orange on the Seder plate. My mom explained it to me that it was about, someone said women belonged on the bima as much as an orange belonged on the Seder plate. So I have to tell you how surprised I was to read the words of Susanna Heschel that she had not said that. She was in Oberlin with a group of lesbian Jews who made a custom of using a crust of bread to talk about being marginalized and wanting to be participating. And she changed it to an orange because she didn't want to have bread on the Passover plate when it was a time of matzah. So I thought it was fascinating that something that's become, certainly here in LA, many people have heard about the orange on the Seder plate, and I thought it was amazing that it's changed so much. And when I think about watching on the news about liberation or war in Libya and Tunisia and Saudi Arabia and our dependence on oil, and I think about what is the real story and who said what, is it really how it happened? I also have some flyers in the back from Jewish World Watch, and I think that the situation in the Congo and Sudan and having to live a life in the refugee camp is a lot like slavery. And that as Jews at this time of Passover, it's our responsibility to think about the people that need our help. And so there is the Walk to End Genocide is coming up early next month, and there's a bunch of flyers on the table about that. In this slide, I listed 4 books that I read. They are also on your handout. And whenever we travel, I read about the place. And I did read books about Morocco, but these 4 books really spoke to me in terms of the Jewish journey. The first book, The Man in the White Sharkskin Suit, is about a family from Cairo that moves to Israel and eventually to America. The second one is written by a man who's a professor at UCLA, and he wrote the book about his challenging relationship with his father, who is an immigrant from a Kurdish area to Israel and to America. A brilliant man who he didn't understand, but when he had a son, he didn't want the relationship with the son to be like his relationship with his father.
Yeah, we know both of him and his wife.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing book. He has a newer book that I haven't read yet. Sarah's Key is about Jews in France during the Holocaust, and Too Many Men is an amazing book by an Australian author about Jews returning to Poland from Australia after the Holocaust. And I found all of them amazing, and there was so much interest in this talk. I had so many people write to me. I was thinking I might do something with one of these books, maybe before the summer. The other thing, just before I finish, I want to talk to you about is so many people have been asking us if they could travel with us. Now, we know that not many people want to travel with us in our style of Asia, which we kindly refer to sometimes as -1 star. It's amazing what you could do without. Sometimes just a bed and a door is enough. But people have been asking if we would take them with us, that some people want a little bit of help to travel. So George and I set up a trip for next April, and I have flyers for that if you're interested, or if you're just interested in some help to go to Morocco, or I know of a fantastic retreat that's going on in Morocco for 8 days in Marrakesh. Coming up soon, but you have to get in soon, it's very cool. So these doors, I just wanted to leave you with the idea, it's important to walk through the doors and find what could be on the other side. I certainly, like I told you, although I did work for a long time, I lived on a ship. That was very easy traveling for me. Traveling with George has been sometimes very challenging for me, and it's always the places I really don't want to go. Like I said, I was very reluctant to go to Morocco, and now I would highly, highly recommend it. We went in December to Colombia, where I was sure, but when George first suggested it, that I was going to get kidnapped and die. And I have to say, I loved Colombia so much, I told George I want to move to Cartagena for 6 months. I think it's amazing. Colombia's amazing. So, before I go, shukran, like I told you, is thank you, and bislama is goodbye. I have a survey. I'm going to ask you to just fill out a couple questions to tell me what you thought and what you'd be interested in next. I want to say thank you to Adam and Michael. They're my recording mavens, and they said if you want to give them a quick comment before you go. George and I did write a book about our trip, our year away, and we're looking to find a literary agent and a publisher, so if you could tell them we're a little bit interesting, we appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to Stephen S. Wise, the temple here where I grew up, for allowing us to use this space, and everyone that's been so supportive of me, and of course my fantastic husband George. Now, depending on how fancy you are, this is a QR. So if you take a picture of a QR with your phone, it will take you to our blog. Now I know that that's not where everyone is technologically, so on our handouts there is at the bottom, you can find our blog, and I think many of you know that our blog did move. We were invited and we moved our blog to the website of the Jewish Journal. So I am going to leave you with another song by Vanessa. There's more coffee, there's more food, please enjoy, and I'd love to hear from all of you any questions.